Hello, I'm your host, Jennifer Bliss. This is the social media engagement research for Knots TV project and presentation. So just before we get into it, this is what I've done for you so far. This is all the in-scope bits and bobs. So I have analysed all of Knots TV's social media data from January to May 2024, which is 1,549 posts, to identify a pattern of customer behaviour. I've segmented the market accordingly, and I've created 2 customer journeys for you. The KPIs for social media have been identified and can be monitored by Knots TV going forward. I've completed the 5 SMART objectives, and a situational analysis of 3 competitors has been carried out. 13 recommendations have been made to the client in the report and during the presentation. I'm also doing this presentation for you now. You're also going to get a business report next week, and this is going to include a lot in the appendices. So there's going to be all the data that I've used to draw conclusions, the competitor analysis notes, Knots TV analysis notes, various marketing models, so for example SWOT, presentations, full list of references for further understanding, and the campaign template. Okay, right, so that brings me onto the situational analysis. So situational analysis is to establish Knots TV's customer database, then we can use all that information to target them going forward. I need to draw your attention to 2 studies. One from Stoll, which was conducted in 2010 to 2022, which shows that older people are more likely to spend time watching TV. Another study from Zote outlines that social media usage of Gen Y being the highest across Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, followed by Gen X. So let's go through the pie charts. As you can see in the top left corner, we've got how frequently do you watch Knots TV? So this is data that's been pulled from the May 2023 Knots TV survey.
Is that what I sent you? This is from our previous research.
Yep.
So you've got a pie chart from that research?
I have, yes. There's various pie charts coming out.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so the situational, where am I reading from? Okay, so about a third of the Knots TV watchers are engaged watchers, just under half are low engagement watchers, and we can deduce from Stoll's survey that the most engaged watchers are likely to be older viewers. So you can see in the top, we've got almost every day, weekly, those are your most engaged, and then about once a month, less than once a month, those are your less engaged. Then we move on to the Knots TV demographics. So this is again from that May 2023 survey. So the majority of Knots TV viewers are Gen X, and the secondary set of people are Gen Y. Again, this links up with Stoll's survey that older viewers are more likely to watch TV. And then we come to the Facebook and Instagram demographics pie chart. So as you can see there, Gen Y are the majority. They take up about half of that pie chart. So that's the white and black chunks. And then Gen X is secondary demographics. So you can see the dark blue and purple chunk there. So this reflects Zote's survey that Gen Y are the primary users of social media and Gen X are the secondary. And then we come to this pie chart. So this is from the May 2023 Knots TV survey demographics social media usage question. As you can see, Facebook is the most heavily used social media by the survey respondents, and Twitter and Instagram are the secondary users of these survey respondents. So the majority of the survey takers were Gen X, followed by Gen Y, which is probably why we see this pattern, because there are a few studies here and there that say that Facebook is used mostly by Gen X, and then Gen Y tend to use Instagram a bit more. Okay, so this gives us a good overview for customer demographics for Knots TV. Primary customers are regular TV watchers, so Gen X and our heavy Facebook users. These are your highly engaged demographic. The secondary users are social media natives, Gen Y, who use Instagram, Twitter, and then Facebook. From the data, they don't tend to watch Knots TV as much or are less engaged. So Gen Y are the people that we want to target because they will engage. You just need to up it, and then we can turn them into highly engaged viewers. So that brings me on to competitor analysis. So I've analysed Greatest Hits, Gedling Eye, and The Post as top 3 competitors for Knots TV. So I just want to draw your attention to a couple of trends in the data. So we can see here, Twitter is the most engaged platform of these companies. Gedling Eye has the highest engagement due to a very small audience and limited posts, which kind of skews the figures a bit. You can see they've got overall engagement of 10.84% there. And the best time to post varies, but basically from looking at the data like manually, best it's logically when people are basically like looking at their phone throughout the day. So 7 to 8:30 breakfast, 12 till 2, which is about lunchtime, and then 3 till 5, which is like school run, afternoon slump kind of times.
Is this data from the same time frame as this January to May as well?
So
you total posts. Is that for what?
This is only because I've had to do this manually by hand. So this is only 1 week in May.
It's a week. Okay.
Yeah, but that was the 24th to the 31st of May. So that is all that data which I've had to do.
Just a week. That's all of that at the bottom half. It's all over a week. Yeah.
So this is
all over a week.
A week snapshot, basically.
It's a week. Yeah.
Because I was going to be there forever if I did a month. So, okay. Where was I? So, other things that I wanted to pull out. Competitors use images to their advantage, putting clickbait, headbait. Oh my god. They have clickbait on their images and headlines, and they often turn the image into a hyperlink on the articles that they want the viewer to go through. In my opinion, the Gedling Eye is the least impressive competitor, and the Post is the most engaged competitor, depending on how you look at the stats. But best practice is Greatest Hits Radio, which we'll talk about in a second. There we go. So, as you can see, this is a lovely collage of Greatest Hits. This is just a few snapshots. So it starts with Instagram over on the left, and then Facebook in the middle, and then Twitter on the right. So as you can see, we've got consistent branding with text, highlight colours, backgrounds. We've got questions on the images, which ups the engagement because people are going to stop their scrolling and be like, oh, what does that mean? Do I want to engage with that? And either whack a comment on there or share it with a friend or anything like that. So you can see there's 42 comments on that. So really good engagement with that kind of thing. And you can see there's consistent posting across all the platforms. So there is this lady that is the exact same reel, same subtitles, everything on all of their platforms, and you can see it's posted at about the same time on the same day. And then we've got subtitles on images and the links on image direct traffic. So this Twitter one, basically if you clicked on that image, it would take you to the article that is related to Hart Ann Wilson, who's been diagnosed with cancer, unfortunately. So that's Greatest Hits Radio. And then we've got Gedling Eye. So they've got Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can see their Twitter has got a lot of high views but no comments. They've got links on picture and subtitles to give more information. Their Instagram is very much like nature and news headline pictures, which I thought was quite an interesting thing for a news outlet to do. And then we've got simple subtitles and brand colours. As you can see, Gedling Eye is white and blue. They've carried that through with their subtitles on this reel. We've got calls to action and lots of info on their pictures, especially their Facebook. I was most impressed with the Facebook that they've got. And they've got the article linked in the top comment, which is a great way to get around the algorithm squashing your posts.
So ironically, that's an LDR story on the right that they just want about.
Right.
That's what we do.
Yeah. And then we've got the Post, which is, they've got consistent formatting of their Twitter posts, they've got eye-catching pictures, small blurb, and article headline on their Facebooks. They've got more engagement, comments, and relatable content. So you can see here this post says, 1 in 10 people have been to the toilet during a meeting while working from home. 15 comments, and then the top one is Emma Flanagan saying slow news day, which I thought was quite amusing. But you know, that kind of engagement pushes things up, increases awareness. And then we've got the Post has quite a lot of inconsistent posting across their social media platforms, and they've only got Twitter and Facebook, and their Twitter they seem to have abandoned, which isn't great. But that's the kind of overall situation, so I thought that would be useful to pull it out visually for you. So some ideas that we can borrow from your competitors is put article headlines on the images, often including a call to action, turning the images into hyperlinks to redirect audience to Knots TV website, tagging others in the post, which will increase the potential audience of the post, so either tag person or brand will repost.
This is Twitter, is it?
These are all of them.
This is all
Suggesting for all socials.
Yeah,
for all socials.
All socials. The idea is you want it to be nice and consistent, and then you stand out in your social media, basically. So you're like, oh, okay, it's, I don't know, blue, black and white for Knots TV branding colours. You can immediately know it's Knots TV. Yeah. So that's why Greatest Hits I thought was the best example to showcase that, because you immediately know it's Greatest Hits. Yeah. And then also creating posts that include affiliate links and sponsors from companies. So that was, I can't remember which competitor it was off the top of my head, but one of them did that, and it was like a mattress company, and they had like lots of affiliate links on their posts, which is great because you get a kickback. Okay. Where am I at? Knots TV analysis. Okay, so before we get into it, let's do some key definitions. So we've got impressions, which are the number of times a post has appeared in someone's timeline. So one person can see the same post 3 times, meaning the total of impressions is 3. The reach is the number of people a post has reached. So one post has been seen by 3 people, which means the total of reach is 3. Engagement covers any interaction with a post, such as likes or reactions, comments, retweets, shares, saves, clicks, media interactions, profile visits, and follows. So just before we get into the data.
So the impressions in the reach, when you say one person can see the same post 3 times, they would have had to click on it 3 times, or 5 times, or 10 times, or 20 times. Is that how that works?
Okay, so impressions.
And impressions and reach always seem like they're the same to me.
They
when
seem,
you put it like that, don't they? It's the number of people post has reached. One post has been seen by 3 people.
Yeah. So reach, I always think as people.
Yeah, reach is
Yes.
headcount.
Yeah.
Whereas
Right.
impressions is views.
Yeah.
Which is
So if you think about it in traditional media, reach is if you give 1 leaflet to 3 people, that's your reach. If you think about it, impressions is 3 leaflets. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, okay. Lovely chart for you. Okay, so this is the overview of the social media analysis for Knots TV. It's been
the 6 months.
so this is the January to May 2024
Yeah.
stats.
Yeah.
This has been the majority of the project. This is what I spent most of the time pulling together for you. And it's just an overview of all of your social media from Jan to May 2024. And the whole reason why I've done this is basically it gives you a really good starting point for any future campaigns. So if you want to measure any smart objectives, you can look at this and be like, okay, this is where we're starting from. And then if you want to, I don't know, up your shares, for example, you can see there's a line that's got shares on it, and you can use that as your yardstick for measuring going forward. And to make it a lot easier, because this is a lot of information, the following slides contain a summary of these stats in a more easy to understand way. So for example, clicks has been saved is a combination of total clicks, other clicks, link clicks, and detail expand. So that's what one of the metrics is going forward, just for example.
Yeah.
So, a bit easier to understand this one. So these are your awareness metrics. So basically, the idea is to increase the awareness of Knots TV, which will mean you've got more sponsorship opportunities, and it's a really great way to track growth. And eventually you should be able to link a bump in awareness with a bump in TVA viewership figures. That's the whole reason why we're doing this. So as you can see, we've got Facebook is in the lead with most of the awareness metrics, so they are the dark purple colour in the middle. And that's probably because they've got more followers. Instagram is the second, but it's interesting because they've got the least followers. You can see on this pie chart here, Facebook and Twitter are kind of even, and then we've got like a little slice of Instagram followers.
And we post less on Facebook then, don't we? Considering.
Yeah, we're quite careful with it.
Yeah, so it's been really interesting to see how these metrics
because I'm trying to
play
work
out.
how consistency comes in
Yeah.
when you want to post across all of the platforms.
Yeah.
What I suppose from Chris's point of view, because the news side, journalistic side doesn't sometimes fit with, I don't know, it's,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably a conversation for later on in the meeting.
Yes,
but,
yeah.
But like,
We'll get to
Q&A.
that in the recommendation.
In the Q&A, yes.
Yeah. I've got some assumptions that you may or may not agree
Yeah.
with.
Okay, and my other point is Twitter's got a high amount of impressions as well, which is interesting. Also, just to note, reach is not a thing on Twitter, so it doesn't count the amount of people. And I've also included likes on this because it's more of a passive metric, because you know, as you're scrolling through your phone, you can like things and not really pay attention to it. Okay, so that brings me to the engagement metrics. So this is the majority of that very big table we saw a couple of slides ago. So your engagement metrics are everything you can measure on each social platform. Basically, the idea of engagement and why it's important is if you increase your engagement, the algorithm then pushes your posts out to people who aren't your followers. So that creates more awareness. So that's the whole point. That's why everyone goes on about algorithms and such. So I'm going to draw your attention to Instagram. As you can see here by this lovely pie chart, the dark blue and the mid blue, that's Instagram and stories. That's all your engagement. So Instagram is the most engaged platform despite having the least followers. So there's been a lot of growth since January 2024 with, bear with me, 191,824 followers joining Instagram. So this is likely due to the flooding techniques. I know, brush your shoulders off there, Nicola. Well done. So this is likely due to the flooding techniques used by the team for the Gold Duck campaign. So I'm just going to walk you through the stats and what they actually mean. Flooding techniques. So that is basically like, you know how we had the Gold Duck campaign, we had the Knots TV 10th birthday.
Yeah, we tried to flood the county with gold ducks.
Yeah.
Same principle.
So it's,
But online.
we put a load of posts on it because usually you'd maybe put 1 or 2 on a day instead of like 100, I think it was by the end of the day for that one. So that's what flooding is. Okay, so profile interactions. That is a combination of follows and profile visits. These are your actively engaged customers. They grow your followers and audience, and they're the highest for Instagram, and it's a really useful metric because you can see people are looking at what you're offering on social media and going, yes, I would like to interact with that more. I would like to know more about Knots TV. So that's really useful for that kind of thing and getting people engaged with that. And then we've got post interactions. So that is reactions, comments, shares, and saves. So this is for people that are the highest level of that will engage the most with your posts. As you can see, Facebook is the highest. We will get onto this in a minute, but I would assume people that are responsible for post interactions are your commenter carols. We will get onto that in a minute. And basically they're the people that don't mind their opinion being heard and voiced online. Okay, so clicks, that is, as I mentioned earlier, any clicks on a post. So that is really useful for funneling traffic elsewhere. So if you want someone to look at the articles or be directed to Knots TV on demand, that's where the clicks go. It's a really useful metric to see what people are interested in, what they're clicking on. Like if you want to run a headline that's what I'm calling a tell me more kind of style caption on a post or something, that's what you can see if people are clicking on it going, oh, that's interesting. You can really hone your style using these metrics. And then finally we've got media engagement. So that is real plays, photo clicks, anything that's to do with, you know, your traditional kind of media. And that's basically, is your audience engaging with what you're putting out? And you can really see like how many seconds people have viewed that and such on a couple of the platforms. So that's really useful to see. Okay.
Sorry, just ask a question. So would you say media engagement is a simple impression classed as media engagement or not?
No, so that's an awareness metric.
Okay. And when you say plays, does that include just the automatic play of a video in a feed?
Yes.
Okay, because I wouldn't class that as an engagement. Because it plays whether you like it or not, doesn't it?
Yes.
So just because it's presumably, if a video plays automatically in my feed, doesn't mean I'm engaging with it.
Yes, but it's useful to lump it in. So that's why it's in there, because I was trying to make it a bit more succinct. But yeah, we can go through the stats with like a fine-tooth comb later if you want to.
Discuss that bit later.
Yeah. Okay, great. So that brings me to behaviour summary. So Instagram is the most engaged platform out of all three. Facebook has the most direct post engagement metrics. Media engagement is the highest, followed by clicks and profile visits. This suggests that quiet, behind-the-scenes action are most comfortable for viewers. So these are the people that will do anything apart from comment directly on your post. Yeah, but it's like you can track if they're sharing it with their friends. You can track if they're liking it. You can track if they're saving it for later, that sort of thing. So that's what I call like the behind the scenes metrics. Comments seems very like in your face online, and like sharing to your stories, for example, that's more of a, hey, I'm really interested in this and I don't mind my peers knowing about it. That's what I mean by that. And then unsurprisingly, people that are happy to shout about their opinions online, post engagements are the lowest metric, suggesting users are not comfortable sharing their opinions to a large audience. Best time to post across all three channels is the afternoon, so 2 till 5 p.m, which suggests the audience checks socials during the afternoon slump, school run, commuting, etc., those kind of things. And fun fact, there is no correlation on the best day to post. I did have a look. Okay, right, so that leads me to the customer journey and personas. So as you'll see in front of you, I have printed out some lovely bits and bobs for you. So we've got 2 customer journey maps and the customer personas. Right, I'm going to give you a crash course in what the AIDA model is. So the AIDA model stands for awareness, interest, desire, and action. As you'll see at the top of your customer journey map, where it says stage, we've got awareness, interest, desire, and action. So that's what we mean by an AIDA model.
Okay.
And basically the reason why I've used this is because it's useful to demonstrate the customer starting point with a business and where you want to end up. So for Knots TV, awareness would be they've stumbled across the live TV channel or they've seen a post on social media, so that would be their awareness. And then you take it through all these stages to get to action, so that will be tuning into Knots TV, for example, or engaging with your social media. It's quite complicated because there's basically 2 different paths that we're going to get into, but I've tried to simplify it as much as possible. And it's also really good to highlight areas to improve upon. So this is me basically nitpicking, so please don't feel disheartened, but basically red on the customer journey maps means basically an action point which could be improved upon, and you'll see there's RB, RF, RA, etc. in blue on these next to these things, which links to a recommendation, which we'll get into in a bit. Okay, is that everything I want to say? And then black is just sort of like neutral, or you're doing it well. I just didn't want to make it rainbow coloured, otherwise it's just going to be a bit much. Okay, so, and with these we have the customer personas, which are linked up. So we've got customer journey map 1, which is social media to live TV, which is your low engagement journey, and that links up to your lovely customer persona, Luke, our lurking Luke. So these are, lurking Luke is a millennial. He is less likely to comment on things.
Sorry, so these 2 people, so how have you come, just really simply, how have you come to the conclusion that these are the 2 most relevant people to speak about? How did you decide? Because maybe there's several of these people.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Are these just our 2, in your view, these are 2 most relevant?
So these are your archetypes. So as you can see here, I've put the pie charts back up. You're never going to escape the pie charts in this presentation. But basically, you see we've got the May 2023 Knots TV survey demographics. So we've got those 2 slices of the pie chart. I'm going to stand up and point this to the music. So these are your Gen Y chunk, and these are your Gen X chunk. So these people are the people that have actually taken the time out to do your Knots TV survey. So these are people that already know about Knots TV.
Okay.
You following me so far? Mm-hmm. So you can see the majority of your audience here is Gen X.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
And then the secondary audience is Gen Y.
Okay.
And then if we flip that, so that links up to your highly engaged customer journey, which is map 2, I think. Yes. And it links up to your commenting Carol. Then we've got, if we flip it the other way, so customer journey map 1, which is your social media to live TV, we can see here almost, well, over half of your Facebook and Instagram demographics are the Gen Y people. So they are your lurking Lukes. These are the people that are lowly engaged, but they form most of your social media. These are the people that are going to be responsible for increasing your awareness and basically getting that free advertising that you want for Knots TV. And they'll be pushing everything out, and you can get them more engaged with Knots TV to then basically up this eye chart figures basically. So it's like a nice cycle of awareness and engagement for both customer journeys. So they are linked, but I've tried to separate them so it's not too confusing. Are you still with me, Chris?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anyone got any more questions? Okay, great. So that's where these are coming from, and that's why they're the 2 archetypes, because I thought that's the best way to divide it up. Right, where was I? I've completely thrown off myself. Anyway, so yeah, that's your lurking Luke is your low engagement Gen Y, and he links up to your customer journey map 1. So that's how that all links together. And then if we turn up to commented Carol and customer journey map 2, which is live TV to social media, which is your high engagement journey. So your commenter Carols are Gen X. They are kind of like your primary TV audience, And they're also the ones that are more likely to comment on your social media, and they don't mind their voice being heard and like their peers knowing what they're up to online. And another point that I wanted to pull out, so this is a bit of theory, but I'm basically going to crash course it. So online communities are really useful for brands because basically they can, if you have a good online community, your brand then has like another element to it. So it kind of increases the longevity. And with online communities, you often get various different types of people on there. So your commenting carols might be your brand advocates. There will be the people that say, oh, I watched this program on Knots TV, have you seen it? And that is your word of mouth advertising. So that is, and word of mouth is still the most powerful advertising tool that we have in our arsenal as marketers and advertising people. So that's like a really good way of getting it up. Is there anything else I wanted to say about that? Yeah, so basically online community, really useful, and it also increases brand loyalty. And if you can get your low engaged people to feel more comfortable with Knots TV as a place to comment, and if you engage with these people, then they're going to be a bit more heard. So yeah, you can really like pull out the engagement from your low engagement customers, so your liking loops, and turn them into commenting carols. That's the plan anyway, so that's why I wanted to mention that. So that leads me on to recommendations. Don't worry, we're almost there. Okay, so recommendations. So as you'll see on the customer journey maps, let me just pull up the right one.
So Army's recommendation then the right.
Yep, you got it. So for example, we've got recommendation A, which is adjust the captions to include a tell me more style with calls to action and reference
There's a
to
tier as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
and reference to top link in the comment. Use ChatGPT if pressed for time. So I think you guys are sleeping on ChatGPT. Because you can get an article, you can ask ChatGPT to summarize it for you, and then like copy and paste that into some captions. But we'll talk about that more a bit later. I can see you're not happy with that suggestion, Chris, so it's fine. Forget I mentioned it.
Social media, though, it's not for. It's. I suppose it's using it in the right way and not abusing it. But
Yeah.
to like you say, get something for social media that's quite, because we sit there sometimes really going, oh my god, what do we say here? Maybe turn it into something. Anyway.
Chris just takes it on a day-to-day basis.
That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
You do it by the vibe.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. Sorry, everyone's going piled on Chris there. Didn't mean to
It's
call you
fine.
out there.
Going to get a machine to do our writing for us.
Okay.
So just
Yeah.
go home.
No, I'm not saying they write the
No,
article.
no.
I'm saying they shorten it so you don't have to think too hard about it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
what you mean.
Not
Yeah.
for
I understand
stories and
why.
it's
Yeah.
I 100% understand why you suggest that.
Oh,
yeah.
I do understand.
Okay. So anyway, so that's also got a tier which is quick win. You can see that down by the sides. I've put them into quick win, things that require a little bit more planning. And we'll see in a couple of slides there's investments as well. And I've split them out into low engagement. So these are recommendations that can help with the low engagement stuff. And you'll see on interest on the top box on interest on social media live, that is a little bit red with RA next to it. So that's how that all works. Okay, so high engagement. So these are to create posts. I'm just reading that off the slide. That's not the one I wanted to pull out. High engagement. So G is allocate someone to deal with commenters and messages that come through on social media channels on behalf of Knots TV. So that's a quick win. I'm fairly sure Nicola already does that. But
When
it's,
I can. But
Yeah, I know you're all really
I think we need
busy,
to
so
do
it's
more
just
of it.
around.
No one interacts, I don't think.
It's like
Yeah.
with
No one
direct
else is
messages.
anybody.
yeah,
It's whoever's
best
kind of
suited.
the lead for that platform and whoever's not on holiday.
Yeah.
It's like the way that's run, but we can talk about that.
Yeah. But that's just an example for high engagement, because then
Yeah, I
people
like that.
feel like their voice is
Especially
heard and
Nottingham
stuff.
people, especially the nature of what our business is. I think that's really
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
So it's just a
For the
suggestion,
commenting
basically.
carols, definitely.
Commenting carols, yeah, they're the people that you want to keep sweet, basically, and they'll like kind of start
Yeah.
that foundation of your online community as well. And then we've got the third category, which is low and high engagement. So these are things that will tackle both your low engaged people and your high engaged people. I can see you've got a question there, Chris.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's just my face.
All right, that's fine. And for this one, so basically, for example, we've got plan to post uploads to increase engagement, such as a carousel roundup of the photos of the week, an interviewee of the week. They can also promote Knots TV on their channels, which will create like a mutual awareness metric for you. promote TV program that you want to highlight. So for example, if you say, oh, the gardening show's on tonight at this time, this channel, this date, that's a really great way to kind of get things going. I've put that as a quick win as well. And you'll see it'll be on your highly engaged chart in the action column. RG pops up quite a lot, but they're on there. Okay. And then just to round off very quickly, these are the things that I've done extra for you. So these are bonuses. I didn't have to do this for you. So we've got the Rutland Teen Talk stats presentation, which I'm pretty sure Nikki used yesterday for a client. And basically, this is a really great way to demonstrate how the statistics can be used in an everyday situation. We've got the gold stats presentation. I'm fairly sure Chris used that in a meeting with the big boss or wanted it for that.
I showed it to him, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, hey, look at this. And he went, very nice. Like, we didn't go through it in detail.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I spoke about it and he was impressed.
Okay, that's good. So that's been used. Basically, it's a really great way to show how the effect, shows how to evaluate the effectiveness of the campaign via the stats, basically. So those are useful things that you can use as a template going forward. I've also transcribed the TBA data on spreadsheets just for future use if you want to use those stats going forward. I've created some customer profiles, so these things were the little bonuses. They were not part of the SMART objectives. And then I've also taken part in the Knots TV birthday celebrations, so I ran the social media for the evening. I was on applause sign duty, as we all know. My star.
That's highlight real life today.
Yeah. Got a photo of us going to be framed on the mantelpiece. Yeah, like, have you ever been on live TV? No, but I've been next to it. Anyway. Getting behind the scenes footage for social media during rehearsals and just before the show went live, I had like a manic 10 minutes, so I talked to a bunch of people, threw it all on the social media, and then was on applause duty side. And then representing the company in the after party and continue to get content for social media. So that's all the extra out of scope things. Here are some lovely references. And you'll also have noticed there were some references in the little bar below as we went through. And thanks for listening. Do you have any questions?